Africa is set to get another major gold mine. Montage Gold this week managed to secure a massive financing package that is nearly $1 billion in size from two majors in the mining space, enabling them to proceed with a massive gold project in Côte d'Ivoire. Let's dive in. The financing package is for Montage's Kone gold project, which the company claims is one of the highest quality gold projects on the continent as a result of sizable low-cost production and a long estimated mine life. Found 350 kilometers to the northwest of the capital of the Ivory Coast, the Kone Gold project is part of a 2,200 square kilometer land package situated atop a major gold belt in the region. The project, which consists of two major deposits, saw a feasibility study released earlier this year outlining a $1.1 billion after-tax net present value and a 31% IRR based on $1,850 per ounce gold. Those figures climb to just under $1.5 billion and a 39% IRR using 2050 gold. So you can imagine where it sits in an environment where gold has climbed beyond $2,700 per ounce, which the company forecasts would see average annual production of 223,000 gold ounces at an AISC of just under $1,000 per ounce. In the first 8 years, production is estimated to average somewhere in the ballpark of 300,000 ounces per year, placing Montage in the mid-tier producer category as soon as production hits scale. Relevant to this week's news, the mine is estimated to have a 2.6-year payback, with pre-production capital requirements pegged at $712 million US. So let's get into the big news this week. Montage has secured $825 million from both Wheaton Precious Metals and Zijin Mining. The financing package notably follows the company raising $180 million in August at $1.75 per share, which saw Zijin take a 9.9% stake, while the Lundin family maintained a 19.9% stake. That financing, by the way, was preceded by a $35 million funding round conducted at 70 cents in March of this year. Collectively, Montage is said to now have liquidity sources of just under $1 billion, including a cash position of $143 million today. In other words, unlike other operators in the space, money seems to find these guys pretty easily. Anyways, the $825 million mine financing package saw Wheaton commit $700 million to the project, which is broken down into two parts. First is the $625 million gold streaming package, while second is a $75 million loan facility. The gold stream will see 4 equal installment payments made during construction of the Kone project, with Wheaton to receive 19.5% of the payable gold from a defined core area until 400,000 ounces of gold have been delivered. The payable rate then drops to 10.8% until a further 130,000 ounces of gold are delivered, after which the stream drops to 5.4% for the remainder of the life of the mine. There's some ability for Montage to drop down to no royalty, depending upon the expected payable gold remaining in the mine after the second stage of the arrangement, and nuances related to production payments. But for simplicity's sake, Wheaton will make ongoing production payments that amount to roughly 20% of the spot price of gold for each ounce of gold they receive. Key to Montage is that the core area of interest that the royalty structure applies to excludes more than 50 exploration targets that have been identified on the property. In other words, plenty of upside still exists. The $75 million loan facility, meanwhile, is for a 6-year period, with the loan able to be drawn upon after the gold stream has been fully committed. Interest on that loan is to accrue at a rate of the 3-month secured overnight financing rate plus 7.75%. As part of the transaction, Wheaton also has right of first refusal on precious metal streams, royalties, or similar transaction at the Kone project for a 5-year period. And then there's Zijin. The Zijin portion amounts to a $75 million fully redeemable subordinate gold stream, as well as a $50 million senior secured loan facility. The gold stream consists of $75 million in upfront cash consideration, which in return will provide Zijin with 3.1% of all payable gold production until 54,000 ounces of gold is delivered. After that target is reached, Zijin will receive 1.3% of gold production for the remaining life of the mine, unless one of two buyback options is exercised. Those buyback options stipulate that Montage can choose to cut the stream percentage in half by paying $23 million after 31,000 ounces of gold have been delivered, or that the company can eliminate the royalty altogether by paying $30 million in cash once 36,000 ounces of gold have been delivered. Like the Wheaton stream, there are some nuances to the buyback arrangements, but we're keeping it simple here. Production payments, meanwhile, will amount to 20% of the gold spot price. And as far as the senior secured loan facility, the company can draw up to $50 million within 3 years from the transaction closing, with the debt to bear interest at a rate of the secured overnight financing rate plus 4%, with the SOFR having a floor rate of 2.5%. The facility, meanwhile, contains a 9-year maturity. Okay, so let's step back a bit and do a little bit of a summary. Montage's Kone project is estimated to require $712 million in pre-production capital as per their feasibility study completed earlier this year. Under this major agreement, they have secured $825 million, leaving them room for cost overruns, which aren't exactly uncommon in the mining space. In both cases, there's no requirement to draw upon the credit facilities unless management deems it necessary. Both have a 3-year time period under which they can be drawn upon. The cost to Montage in return is that the Kone project will have royalty streams of 19.5% to Wheaton and 3.1% to Zijin when they first begin production, meaning nearly 1 in 4 ounces is sent off to pay debts. And quite frankly, that might be tough on the books. After 54,000 ounces are delivered, the Zijin royalty drops to 1.3%. The Wheaton stream, meanwhile, requires 400,000 ounces to be delivered before it drops to 10.8%. The bright side for investors and Montage here is that A, the Wheaton stream applies to a very narrow portion of the massive land package, and B, the 3 years of production at Kone are estimated to be the strongest years of production, with average gold production of 349,000 ounces a year in the first 3 years. So roughly half of that stream is out of the way in the first 3 years of the 16-year mine life. How did the market like it? The stock is up 11.3% on the day on volume of 7.6 million shares traded, with the trades amounting to a total of $18.4 million in daily trading volume by value. So it certainly moved markets. Despite the money trading hands, social media was a bit quiet on the transaction. The comments that were made, however, were positive, with users like Golden Dreams suggesting that the project has been significantly de-risked. Well, the Silver Swede commended the move on limiting the Wheaton royalty to a defined area. All in all, it's positive to see projects being financed regardless of jurisdiction. Now it's up to Montage to actually build the mine. For what it's worth, they've got the mining permit in hand, having received it in July from the Council of Minister of Côte d'Ivoire. We'll see if they can do it on time and on budget, but I gotta say, guys, I'm really happy to see that deals are being done in the gold space. I think we're about to see a flurry of M&A. We're seeing that companies are willing to put risk back into the table here with this mine financing. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Are you long Montage? Do you think you should go long? How are you feeling about the gold names? Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you, everybody, for watching.